Hi, welcome back to another gadget report. And we start this month of June with something that unfortunately it's not a happy place, so it's not a happy gadget report. I'm talking about the latest crash, the Air India AI7 flight AI171 rather, that crashed minutes after takeoff. I am not going to run speculation here. This is not what I do in my channel. I'm just going to comment on what happened. And this month will be dedicated to a few aspects that has been spoken about regarding this plane. But in any of my videos, you will hear about any speculation or anything that has not been officially confirmed here. So let's talk about this tragic disaster. Come with me, let's talk gadgets. So let's talk gadgets and let's talk about this very, very sad event that happened on the 12th of June in India, to be more precise, in Ahmedabad, where a flight where a Boeing 787 Dreamliner was took off from Ahmedabad International Airport heading to London Gatwick, and it crashed shortly after takeoff. I'll leave the link below. I took the information from for this event from several, obviously, watching TV and the TV reports, and also from an article from The Guardian, which I will leave the link below. So what happened was that, as I said, flight AI171 left Ahmedabad International Airport and, according to reports, crashed 9 minutes after taking off. Apparently, and according to reports, a Mayday call was issued by the pilots, but then when traffic controllers apparently addressed the Mayday call, no response, because unfortunately the Dreamliner plunged into the urban area, killing obviously a lot of people. So this is the aircraft crashed into a medical hostel at lunchtime in the Megani area. So it's a highly populated area and very busy because, as I said, it was around lunchtime. So as you can see, there was more casualties on the ground, as you would expect. From the 232 passengers on board and 12 crew, only one passenger survived. It was a British citizen that was seated on seat 11A. This has been, triggering all sorts of commentary and all sorts of speculation about this seat. Honestly, and this is my personal opinion, I don't think the seat has anything to do with that. I just think it didn't have to happen. It wasn't meant to be. So this was the sole survivor. Unfortunately, this person's brother perished in this disaster, and it is reported that this person was seen at the funeral of his brother. So a very, very sad circumstance. There was obviously many more victims on the ground. As I said, the plane crashed on a medical hostel, and that, of course, would have killed many more people. According to this it's like a blog, a live blog from The Guardian. On the 30th of June, The Guardian was counting 290 people dead. So this was what The Guardian had as confirmed. I know that the death toll may increase from here. Now, after this, so we have this. What do we have, and what may have come from this? So apparently, and after any bigger crash, there is a massive investigation, and that's how throughout the years improvements have been made. Sometimes from these crashes, massive improvements come. For example, the TCAS that is now used in all planes on commercial aircraft was implemented after a few mid-air collisions, and then they implemented the TCAS. So now these are rare events. So usually this is what happens when there is a massive disaster, then follows a massive investigation where every single detail of that flight is analyzed carefully. Obviously, the black boxes are a major part of that investigation, but they are not the whole picture, because investigators have a huge amount of work, and the black boxes, of course, provide a lot of information because they have all the information from the systems, the aircraft systems, and the cockpit voice recorder that will provide them all the conversations that were had in the cockpit in the minutes leading to the disasters, that may provide them with essential clues of what the pilots were experiencing at that exact time, because sometimes, unfortunately, they no longer have the pilots to explain what they were doing, because in most of these disasters, unfortunately, the pilots die in the disaster. So there is footage on the day of this disaster. There is footage that people on the ground that saw the aircraft taking off and saw the whole thing unfolding. Someone has taken footage, and on that footage, that it's going to be pivotal as well for this investigation, because it shows exactly the behavior of the plane and everything that could be seen from the outside, together with the black boxes and everything else that the investigators will obviously look for in the debris, that this will lead to a conclusion. But from the footage, it was visible that, for example, the flaps and slats, I'm going to talk about these two parts of the plane, were not deployed, and that the rat, that is a little propeller that appears under the plane if there is no power, if it's a power outage in the plane, that was deployed, and the flaps and slats were not. So this is the first things that came out of the crash, because there is this video where this is visible, where people can see that this is actually what was happening. Now, this will be clearly, obviously, part of the investigation. That video will be essential to the investigators to find out why was this happening, what happened to the aircraft, but together with that, the possible conversations with air traffic controllers and the black boxes that, according to this live blog from The Guardian, were found days later. So they have the black boxes, and that is a very, very important piece of this puzzle, because it will have, as I said, it has all the information regarding to the systems on the plane, and it also has the cockpit voice recorder that also shows all the conversations of what was going on in the cockpit at the time of the crash. So all of this evidence, all of these things together will eventually will eventually lead to finding out why one of the most sophisticated aircraft at the moment crashed like this, killing so many people. It is important not to speculate. As I said, I am not going to speculate or preempt any conclusions here. I don't think that is the way to approach these things, and unfortunately, that's the way a lot of people approach these things. There's been a lot of theories, conspiracy theories, things, ridiculous things put forward, and especially sometimes and it happened in this occasion as well. A lot of people go and pick up unrelated things, for example, that may be connected to that particular airline or even to pilots or something like that, to then try to imply that because of this or because of that, the crash happened. That is ridiculous. I'm not going to go into that, and I'm not even going to talk about what has been said, because that would be actually giving them, or giving these conspiracy theories and giving these speculative theories and approaches airplay and time of the day, which I don't think they should have. I'm just here to report what we have so far, and this is something that this is the evidence that we have so far. We have the black boxes that have been found. We have the video that shows that the rat and the slats and flaps, there was a problem there because the rat was down and the flaps and slats were not deployed. This obviously, for people that like aviation and work in aviation and understand aviation, tells us that might have been an electrical problem with the aircraft. The rat is usually deployed when there is a power outage within the aircraft, and it helps the pilot to continue to fly and control the aircraft safely to make a safe landing. Obviously, all of this altitude is important, and I think in this case, for example, that was something that the plane didn't have because it was just taking off. So clearly an altitude issue as well. That may have been because of all of these factors that I've spoken. But of course, the investigation, and this is not something that will come up 2 or 3 days after the crash. This will take months, sometimes. Some investigations, in some cases, some crashes take even years to be solved because there is a lot of things to investigate. And sometimes investigators have a line of investigation, and then when they exhaust all those possibilities, they reach a dead end and they find out couldn't be this. Then they go and investigate. It is a very thorough and long investigation, and we should think that, or we should actually understand that this is not something that should be rushed. First of all, because there is the duty to the victims, there is the duty to the victims' relatives and friends that the reason why they perished, it's actually thoroughly investigated and found, and that they don't die in vain, that something is done about it so no one else has to die for the same reason. And also because obviously there is there is also the duty of good information, and sometimes our media do not provide us with that. So I think that it will take a while for us to know the full story, know exactly what happened to that Dreamliner. It will take, I would say, months for the investigators be able to go through all of the debris. And this is very complicated. The aircraft crashed in an urban area, so there's a mix of debris. There's aircraft debris that needs to be separated because that's what the investigators want to look at. And there's obviously the ground debris, and that needs to be separated because they need to look at the aircraft. So it's a very, very painstaking operation. It takes a very long time to get things done, of course, and it's something that cannot be rushed. So the investigation is obviously ongoing, and when we know something and there is something to report, I will be here to tell you all about it. So for today, I hope you like this video today. I hope you like my analysis of what happened. And obviously, this was more to condemn all the speculation and everything rather than just make an analysis. This is basically just acknowledging all the facts that are out there, which obviously are not many because it just happened, and there will be a lot to be investigated and found in this crash. But let me know if you have any opinion, if you have any information. I don't think at this stage anyone will have any information because, of course, the investigation is ongoing, and only at the end reports will be prepared and published, and that's only when the public will know exactly what was the findings, what were the findings of this crash, and what investigators found to be the reason for it. But if you have any opinion, if you work in aviation, if you are an engineer, aviation engineer, or anything like that, and you may have an idea, just leave a comment, please. I would ask that if you leave a comment on this, please do not leave any speculative approach comments. It would be acceptable to comment on, for example, what is seen in the footage, something like that, but I would not accept any speculation because, as I said, my channel is not to propagate this sort of thing. I'm here to talk about aviation. You know, I love aviation. I love flying and planes and everything aviation. And I think I wouldn't do aviation justice if I was just spreading rumors and speculation about something as tragic and sad as this crash was. So please leave a comment. If you have any subject, anything you would like me to talk about in these gadget reports, please also leave a comment, and put a like and subscribe to the channel with a little click on the bell so you get a notification of a new gadget report every week. My channel has been growing. I'm very happy for that. Thank you so much. It wouldn't be possible without you, but I have a little request. Please leave a comment and subscribe. Put a like. This will help my channel to grow. If you share with your friends, if you put a comment, you like and subscribe, the YouTube algorithm will pick up that I have more viewers, more subscribers, and movement on my channels. And of course, the content will be shown to more people, causing my channel to grow even more. So please, it's for free, and you will help me grow and create more videos for you. Now, before I go, I would like to thank you all for watching. I will see you next week. Have a good one. Bye.